All right. Attempt number two. So, as we were talking about on the other one, was it like Larson dominated? New poll question up. How irritating is YouTube for constantly dropping my lives? Internet speed is fine. This one was all YouTube. I definitely checked it and everything. So, just another super irritating live that got dropped for freaking no reason. But let's run through it again. So while everybody kind of trickles in, Kyle Larson wins, dominated all day today. Denny Hamlin is in second. Ty Gibbs, Chase Briscoe, Ryan Blaney, your top five. William Byron, Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell, AJ Allmendinger, Austin Dillon are your top 10. Let's go over to the points real quick. Where we've got William Byron continues to be your leader. Then you got Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace, Joe Logano, Alex Bowman, Ross Chastain, Chris Buescher, Chase Elliott, Ryan Preece, Kyle Busch, AJ Allmendinger in 16th, but he would be bumped out by Josh Berry in 17th via the Josh Berry win. So AJ Allmendinger going to be your first car on the outside looking in if the postseason started today. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. just below him, Michael McDowell, Ty Gibbs, John Hunter, Nemechek Jr. the third. Going to be the other one there. So I'm just going to wait on the chat, see what you guys want to talk about, because I can't even remember what we're talking about on the other one other than the tires were seemed to be one of the issues you were talking about. Some people thought the car was the biggest issue. Some people thought Kyle Larson dominating the race was the biggest issue. I would lean personally toward the car. To me, seems to be the bigger issue. It just has not raced well at short tracks, and we can't keep saying that Bristol's just not the same, Richmond's not the same. When Richmond and Bristol used to be two of the best races on the circuit, now that we've got this new car, that's not the case anymore. And the common denominator is the new car. You can put it on the tires, say the tires weren't soft enough, this, that, and the other thing. But overall, it's just a new car, and this package that it's got, it's not racing well at short tracks. Martinsville is always hit or miss. So to me, I would lean more toward it's the car, but everybody's going to have a different opinion on it for sure. And that's just me venting a little bit. Art NASCAR saying what a boring race. And that's the other thing, regardless of what you think about it, what the problem was, I think the overarching, I think even Larson fans would be like, this was a boring race. A lot of people saying they were tuning into the Masters. A lot of people tuning in to Kyle Kirkwood winning the Long Beach Grand Prix or wherever IndyCar was racing at. So let's see. Guess who's back again? BB's back. Tell a friend. What's up in between the lanes? Appreciate you there. Shout out to the Eminem. Let's see. Shaw said, I just want to repeat, even Bowman's engine laying down was boring. I like Boom. Says Shaw. So there you go. Even Shaw didn't like the cautions that came out. Alex Bowman losing an engine, that wasn't a caution, but Shane Van Gisbergen, when he spun out, that was, I think, the only actual caution. Then you had the two stage cautions as well. Rick Stenhouse Jr. wasn't happy with Briscoe when he tapped him. Says in between the lanes for sure. That was classic Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and that was classic Chase Briscoe. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. couldn't get back to him to do anything, although I think Ricky Stenhouse Jr. wanted to. In between the lanes, that's perfect, says Shaw. Let's see. Larson was racing on Earth 1. Everyone else was on Earth 2, says Joseph Wooten. It looked like it. He smoked them for sure. There's no doubt about that. Nathan Bird, are you racing the Little 500? Says Art NASCAR. Larson and Company kicked butt. They did for sure. Shaw, BB's back. BB's back. BB's back. BB's back. All right. Says in between the lanes. So yeah, it was pretty much cut and dry as far as that goes. Hang out here for just a minute, see if anybody else wants to chime in there. I watched the Biff. It was almost like watching a race from the old days when half the field is plus a lap down. Excuse me. Hopefully you didn't hear that. That was the off switch. So hopefully that didn't come through on the mic. If it did, I apologize. I did get to like BB's video twice, so that's a plus, says Shaw. So yeah, back to the it was almost like PC Gone Rogue saying it was almost like an old time race when half the field was a lap down. It did have a feeling of that to it. I will admit that there were definitely some older races where everybody in the field felt like they were a lap down. There were only 5 cars in the lead lap. One that comes to mind particularly was Ernie Irvin and Kyle Petty at Rockingham, which, speaking of Rockingham, that is the next one on the docket. And that'll be the trucks and Xfinity for that one on Easter weekend. So that's that kind of full circles. The story loop ends there. I just got here, and I guess I missed all the carnage. LOL says Dirty Death. Yeah, the first one for whatever reason, I had good internet, and YouTube just dropped it. So I don't know. It froze up and locked up on everybody. I got the one hand jam going on, playing with one hand, thinking about. Okay, all right, here we go. Nathan just he's going to be persistent here. Da, 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 da. Even if we did get away with stage cautions, uh, tires last longer. I'm deaf, and I'm my cochlear is not working enough to give me a wave and a thumbs up. But I wait on that thumbs up. Says Jeff Wesleyan. So there you go, Jeff, chiming in with that one. One of the Daytona 500s that Richard Petty won. Second place was a laptop. Says PC gone rogue. Was there an actual pass for the lead during the race? Says Art NASCAR. I think just during pit stops, because Larson led 411 laps. I think Ryan Blaney. Let me go over here to the stats and see who all led laps here. It doesn't show that for whatever reason. It's not showing that, but I know Ryan Blaney. I think Ryan Blaney might have led all the other laps. Let's see where the lap leader is at. Lead changes. Alex Bowman led the first 39 laps. Then Kyle Larson. I forgot Bowman led the first 39. So there was one pass for the lead in stage one. Kyle Larson passed Alex Bowman for the lead. Then he led from lap 40 to lap 389. Carson Hocevar led for lap 390 and lap 391. So 2 laps led for Hocevar. Then Ryan Blaney led a percentage of the race from from lap 392 to lap 439. Then Larson led the rest of the way. So yeah, pretty much. Pit cycles. Pit cycles got Hocevar some laps led, and a pit cycle got Ryan Blaney laps led. Other than that, the only actual pass on the racetrack for the lead was Kyle Larson passing Alex Bowman on lap 40 to get the lead there. So that was that. Let's see. Let's see. Bowman led some laps, says in between lanes. Blaney stayed out on that last turn, trying to get a caution. Says Dirty Death. Yeah, for sure. He was playing some strategy there. Didn't quite play into his favor to get the win, but he still had a nice finish there in the number 12. Okay, if you agree with me, practice was cold. Much of qualifying, there was a lot of tire fallout, marbles, but today was terrible. It was warm, and the rubber built up. So yeah, the rubber, good call there, Jeff. Part of the reason that the tires lasted longer today is because it was a little bit warmer and rubber did lay down on the track. Whenever rubber lays down on the track, that does extend the life of the tires for sure, 100%. So yeah, that was definitely a factor in it for sure. And like I said, I don't think we can put the blame to me, and I know some people want to from the other poll on the previous stream a few minutes ago that they want to put the blame on the tires, and I get that, but really, I feel like the overall problem is the package, the car itself. You can't continue to crutch it and patch it up with tires and things like that. At some point, you're going to have to throw a different type of package on this particular race car for these short tracks and stuff like that. 30 degrees difference in track temperature, says Dirty Def. So yeah, the temperature is definitely a good call from Jeff Wesleyan, who I think first pointed that out. But yeah, for sure, that is a significant factor in the tire life on this particular day, for sure. The two-stage cautions saved the whole field, possibly from going a lap down, says Joseph Wooten. That's a fact. No doubt about that. Crazy Kyle Busch didn't run good today. He was the man of Bristol. He had a pit stop penalty. I think he was speeding on pit road or something like that. That sort of cost him his good finish. He still finished 14th, so not a terrible finish, but I think he would have definitely had a top 10 if it hadn't been for that. Ford disappointed today, says Tim Brace. Yeah, Ryan Blaney was sort of the lone bright spot, the Lone Ranger there for the Blue Oval gang. And that's starting to become a trend. It's one or two Penske drivers, occasionally Josh Berry, but it's never consistently like all the Ford drivers are kicking butt on the same day. Like you see today, like for example, today when you've got all the JGR cars finishing in the top 10. Finally, some comments on temperature changes, says Shah. Nemechek lost a tire on pit road. Says in between the lanes. Am I right about it? I can't hear. Sorry, says Jeff Wesleyan. Yes, the temperature did play into the tires lasting longer. That is for sure. The 600 is going to cook, says Timber Race. Stage caution saved us from fuel mileage race, says yes, you are right, Jeff. Let's see. Stage cautions saved us from a fuel mileage race, says Timber Race. So yeah, yeah, for sure. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the stage cautions. You can now add NHRA top fuel to Tony Stewart's accomplishments list. He is a winner tonight. So there you go. Tony Stewart getting the win in NHRA top fuel. Uh, you have to use type anyways, says Jeff Wesleyan. Let's see. Let's see. How about Hendrick? He has led three quarters of the last two races, but was able to get the win today, says Dirty Def. Rosie saying yes, he was agreeing with you, Jeff. So Rosie chiming in, helping out. Much appreciated there, Rosie. Let's see. Yeah, so Hendrick has led three quarters of the last two races. That's a good one. I kind of glossed over that one. I do want to address that one a little bit. So yeah, William Byron basically dominated. The vast majority of the Darlington race didn't get the win, for sure. But definitely had two good stages and then lost some track position, and so that was didn't get the finish there. Today they got the finish. They won both stages and got the finish with Larson. So is Hendrick starting to heat up? Is Chevrolet starting to heat up? Those are all fair questions. Is it just one race? Is it just a couple of races? All kinds of outstanding things you can extrapolate from for sure. Tires outlasted the fuel run, says Tim Brace, for sure. For sure. Let's see. Thank you, Rosie, says Jeff. Let's see. I keep trying to bring up practice and qualifying to race day temp differences, but no one seems to listen, says Sha. I'm listening. Like, we're talking about it now. We just talked about it. So, yes, I do agree that the increase in temperature did help it for sure. Another wheel falls off. Can we make the argument about safety and why we should use five lugs? Says like dislike. I think that's a fair statement. I mean, they attach better and they're more solidly on with the one lug nut, according to engineers. That's just what they've been saying and stuff like that. So that's the reason for it. But definitely five is better than one when one is loose, right? So that is it just depends on what you're looking at safety wise. B saying what's up to Rosie. Rosie saying what's up to B. Uh, Anybody that's subscribed to Ryan Blaney's YouTube channel, notice he took down footage of recent race highlights of himself, says in between the lanes. That's interesting. So, okay, maybe there's something going on there. We'll have to, we'll get, let's see, we'll get in between the lanes to investigate that one. Got to give a shout out to Ross, started 35th for sure, but grinded to a seventh place finish. Last three finishes this season, sixth, seventh, and seventh today. So, yeah, starting to heat up over there for the one car at Trackhouse. Doesn't F1 use tire straps to keep tires? They use tire tethers, shop to keep the tires from going on trips. Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know why they. I guess it doesn't translate to the Cup car somehow. I don't know why they don't have tire tethers on these cars. That's a good question. That's a good question. Let's see. Larson learning how to save tires in this car is dangerous, says Escobar. Yeah, Kevin Harvick, I think, good call, Escobar. I think Kevin Harvick brought that up on his podcast too. He said you're starting to see a scary version of Kyle Larson because he's starting to learn how to save tires and all that stuff. Nemechek's loose wheel almost hit Suarez pit crew member. Says in between lanes. Yep, that's the problem with the one lug for sure, no doubt about it. Why do they put tape on the tires? Says OJ and toothpaste. I don't know. I guess that's just one way of marking them. It would depend on the team. From team to team, you see different type of tape strategies on them from time to time. I couldn't rightly tell you some of it. So some of the tape is to help on the older car. Sometimes they would tape them to help them line them up when they put the five lug on there. I don't know if there's something they need to line up with the pin on the single lug, but sometimes the tape is there to help you line it up when you're sticking it on. Sometimes the tape would be there. Maybe they're writing something on the tape like tire pressures, or this set matches this set. So they would put orange tape on this set of tires over here because they got them staggered up and match how they like them. You would have green tape on this set over here because you got them staggered up. There's all kinds of different reasons, I guess is my point here, as to why you could put tape and why certain tape would be in certain places on a race car tire. Uh, what happened to Elliott today? Usually runs better on short tracks, but was non-existent today. Just kind of another solid day for Elliott. You didn't hear too much from him. Thank you, Bologna Burger. Took me a while. They didn't go crazy much yesterday. When it dawned on me, it was warm. Check out the front stretch interview with Hamlin. He said the same thing. Says Jeff Wesleyan. So yeah, it could be front stretch is all. First off, if you're not following front stretch, go over there and give them a follow on YouTube. That's a great channel. They always do a lot of great work. So good off on Jeff for pointing that out. But also super interesting that just a little bit of a temperature difference made this big of a difference today. But it did. And you just saw how much longer the tires lasted today because it was warmer, which does help out the tires for sure. And then also, of course, as the rubber lays down, the tires last longer and longer. So it compounded and made it better today. BB, I wasn't meaning here for the temp convo. I meant other places, says Shaw. Okay, I got you. So it is what it is as far as that goes. I thought today was okay. There's going to be weekends when people dominate. Larson had over 500 more laps of practice racing than any other driver in today's race, barring Jesse Love. So there you go. There you go. That's a good point, and that's the thing I've always said about racing in the other divisions, even if it's not the same car. And this car is vastly, drastically different than either the truck or the Xfinity Series car, but you're still getting repetitions and real life laps. That's not a simulator. And some of that stuff will translate. So I do like it when guys run all three events or run as much as they can at a racetrack. I think it benefits you. And you just look over the course of history, guys that race two events or stuff like that. Certainly Kyle Busch is the shining example. He swept tracks multiple times in trucks, Xfinity, and Cup. Larson super close today, but couldn't get it done in the truck series. Got to work on those restarts for sure. Allegedly, I didn't see the truck race. I just heard it was like a restart issue that he missed the truck race went on. I thought today was okay. There's going to be weekends when people dominate. Larson had over 500 more laps, so the 500 more laps. I think that helped out a lot for sure. Tire tethers attached to the hubs, not the wheels themselves. Says MPF. So there you go. That's the difference in the design of the car. Appreciate you jumping in there, MPF. I'm not an open wheel expert by any stretch of the imagination. Ryan Blaney posted his race highlights from Bristol. Hey, BB, I thought it was me, my crappy tablet. No, apparently YouTube dropped me or froze me up midstream again. And this time I can say for sure I checked my internet speed. It was not the internet, so it's somewhere on YouTube's end on this particular occasion. It's got perfect weather out here, and the internet's running really good. Lots of empty seats at Bristol. I guess no more waiting list like back in the day, says Delmer Kaufman. The early race, the day race, most recently, at least for the last 10 years, has not sold out. The night race is still the one that sells out. But back in the day, both of them sold out. You're right about that. BB, can you say Jesse Love Jr.? The way that Brett Griffin said his name? I'm not sure how Brett Griffin said. I never really watched Door Bumper Clear all that much, to be quite frank with you. Brad K showed some signs of life today, but still disappointing. While Gibbs is showing improvement. Yeah, Ty Gibbs is on one now. He's gone from a slump to a heater. So that's the way it turns around. Okay, that makes sense as to why there's no tethers, says Shaw, talking to MPF. First mention of allegedly, in between the lanes saying there. How much does the wheel weigh? One of those wheels gets hit by a car at full speed. They're pretty heavy. I don't know exactly how much they weigh, but you don't want to get hit by one at any speed. Bristol was depressing today. Racing wasn't great. No tire wear after there was in practice yesterday. Says Napa. Yep. And the weather, as was pointed out, the weather played a significant role in that. Did Legacy Motor Club buy a piece of paper from Rick Ware Racing, or is there equipment involved? Says Sirwood Rooster. They just bought a piece of paper. They just want the charter so that they can run whoever they want to put in that car, which is probably going to be Corey Heim, if I'm guessing. They need to modify this car for short track, says Napa Racing Fan. I think so too. I think the car is the issue. It's not the tire. Cautions helped Larson get to second in the truck race. Was running fifth with 20 to go. Then there were two cautions. Says Dirty Diff. Allegedly, BB is not bald, says Shy. Well, that's a fact, but we're not going to find out today. LOL, you start complaining about YouTube and the stream goes to commercial. That's classic. That's classic, Bruce Garvey. No Cup next week. Cup needs an off week after Martinsville and Darlington was mediocre. Bristol today was very bad for Bristol standards. Yeah, unfortunately, it was not the most entertaining Bristol race unless you like a domination type of race, like a shutout in baseball or a defensive football game or something like that. I guess we have to run Bristol on Christmas to get the track at proper temperature, says Napa Racing Fan. Uh, how about not a bad run for Spire, but they weren't able to stay in the top like they did the majority of the race. Yeah, they didn't capitalize on it, but it was definitely decent. Bristol needs to go back to asphalt, says Waltrip Flair. It might not hurt. It might not hurt for sure. Bristol Dirt ran on Easter Sunday recently. Yeah, they ran that one on Easter Sunday, and that was a little bit controversial. How much longer until they start screwing with the Xfinity Series cars? It's coming. It's coming. They're not going to let the Xfinity Series cars keep looking better than the Cup cars. They'll find a way to water them down as well. Let's not blame Bristol for the poor product. Blame the car. Agreed. 100% with you, Napa. Bristol doesn't need to cut down to one date. I agree. It's 100% the car. Well, NASCAR fans, the IndyCar race was way worse, says Bruce Garvey. I think the biggest, so Bruce Garvey saying the IndyCar race was even more of a blowout. Shout out to Kyle Kirkwood. Hopefully they make race win merch over there in IndyCar. I think the biggest problem today was everyone expecting the tire wear after yesterday's practice, but the track temp didn't allow for it. If they were expecting it, it would have seemed so bad, says Jesse Daly. So yeah, there's two things that made an adjustment because they were expecting more tire fall off. Then it got warmer, and so maybe things just compounded as far as that goes. If it would have rained, would that have made the race better for non-Kyle fans, says Sir Wood Rooster? Well, maybe the first stage you would have got more tire wear because there wouldn't have been any rubber on the track. But once the track rubbered up, I think it would have been sort of what you saw for the entire race. So maybe the first stage it would have helped out a little bit. Seems that the temperature and probably some adjustments to setups negated the soft tire. Do you miss Dirt Bristol? Says OJ and Toothpaste. I kind of liked Dirt Bristol. I wish they would do the dirt race at a real dirt track, but I didn't mind. I didn't mind Dirt Bristol. After the first one, kind of sucked because they didn't know what they were doing, but I liked them after that. I don't mind a dirt race. I think the Cup cars need to do a dirt track, but they need to do an actual dirt track. We don't need to put dirt on top of an existing track. Like go race at an actual dirt track somewhere and do heat races. Do it just like you did at Bowman Gray. Just do a proper dirt race the way dirt racing is meant to be. I'm open to Wilkesboro taking the Bristol spring date, possibly though, says Napa Racing Fan. Hey, well, it might happen. We'll see. I don't know if the Wilkesboro race is going to be any more entertaining than the Bristol race because Kyle Larson blew that one out 1 year too. Do you think it was discussed amongst the drivers? But I believe no current Cup drivers this week at Rockingham. Yeah, I don't think there's one either. Alex Pillow was behind Kirkwood. Says in between lanes, my opinion about the NASCAR car is that NASCAR execs have a huge stocks in the part suppliers. They do not want to change it. Probably a lot of truth to that. So does some of the teams as well. Bristol went from NASCAR's best track in the Gen 6 to the worst track with the next gen, says Napa Racing Fan. I would agree with you on that. Alex Pillow delivers with DHL, says in between lanes. He does, indeed. He is the DHL man on the IndyCar circuit. I like Bristol Dirt, but would like to see Cup run just once on a real purpose-built dirt track like Eldora, says Napa Race Fan. Yeah, I think that would make all the difference. No change. Don't change the horsepower of the car. I hate NASCAR being so stubborn, says Jeff. Yeah, I agree. More horsepower would definitely help for sure. Earth 2, they have Talladega Dirt. Talladega Dirt would be wild. That would be like when Daytona was dirt, although Daytona was never banked in dirt. But that would be a good time. That would be a good time for sure. I like Dirt Bristol better as well. They were getting better the more times they did it. Agreed. Yes, overall agree. The car is the problem. The tire wear is just a band-aid. 100% with you. The tire wear is a band-aid. The car setup or the car package needs to change significantly. Dustball 500, says OJ and Toothpaste. And some engineers have no issue added more horsepower. They all take a few things out, says Jeff. I think the track reconfiguration hurt Bristol. Yeah, diamond in the track definitely didn't help for sure. Or no, or I'm sorry, progressive banking. The track certainly didn't help it for sure. Let's just remove the tapered spacer on the engine, and then there would be 900 horsepower. I'd be okay with that too. Denny Hamlin said they're paying the same bill now they were paying for 900 in 2014. There you go. There you go. I don't necessarily disagree with that. BB, will Joey win? Will Joey win this year, or will it be his first winless year since Joe Gibbs racing? I think Joey Logano gets the win, no doubt about it. Hey, I like you, Napa. You and I pay attention to the same thing, says Jeff Wesleyan. So there you go, Jeff and Napa on board. No doubt about it. Joey was bad today. It was not Joey's day today. That is for sure. Started off bad in qualifying as well. So just was not his weekend. My fantasy did pretty well today, says Bruce Reed. Indeed, indeed, it was a good fantasy day for me too. I think I was sixth overall in fantasy. So good day for fantasy and all that. And still no Blaney, says Bruce Reed. So there you go. Bruce Reed still hasn't started Blaney since Blaney grenaded both engines. I think both times that Bruce has started him previously. So there you go. What's Bubba in points now? He's in the top 15. I know that. Let's see here. He is now eighth. I think he was eighth last week too. So he's right there in eighth. He's right behind teammate Tyler Reddick. They are a handful of points apart. 5, 4, 3. Looks like 23. How about that? 23 points apart for the teammates, Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace in seventh and eighth position in the points right now. So there you go. Numerology, if you're into all that stuff, which I don't know anything about it, but some people like it. Delmar Kaufman got first place in his league today. How many motors have blown up so far this year? Alex Bowman and Ryan Blaney twice. Other than that, I couldn't tell you. It's not something I really keep track of, but I know those two at least. Blaney tried to make the race interesting at least. Yeah, he had a little bit of a different strategy. If he had caught a caution, that would have been interesting. This car should only be run on road courses or take the undercarriage off. Yeah, they would have to find another way to connect it, but they could put an X brace in there and connect all the body panels via that way. So I'm with you on that. That he did, says Jeff Wesleyan. So there you go. Thinking Ty Gibbs will win this season. I wouldn't have thought that 5 weeks ago. Yeah, Ty Gibbs, I told you, I tried to tell everybody, Ty Gibbs is no slouch. The guy can drive, man. And he puts in a lot of work to be a good driver. Now, you might not like his personality, or you might not like that he was born into a rich family. Whatever reason you might not like Ty Gibbs, but he does work hard and he is a good race car driver. And those two things, he's eventually going to break through and get a Cup Series win, at least one, for sure. Whatever they're doing now is not working. Try something else as an Napa race fan. BB, what did you think of Jesse Love's drivermanship today? Says Jamie Schweitzer. I think he went out there and did what he was supposed to do. He made as many laps as he could make, and he stayed out of the way. So I think that was a good, and it's a hard track. So I think he did a good job for his first test. Even more, even just test more horsepower or do something. I agree. Well, NASCAR won't budge about it. Yeah, for whatever reason, they're being stubborn on the horsepower deal. Austin Dillon top 10. Indeed. Austin Dillon doing Austin Dillon things, showed up out of nowhere to get another top 10. Ty Rocket, Randall Gibbs. Indeed. Dillon has consistently outrun Busch this year, says Napa Racing fan. Yeah, and I'm not super concerned about that. The same way I wasn't super concerned about Ty Gibbs and all that. I think it'll eventually let the season roll on. They'll both be in good positions for sure. They ain't listening to the fans, says Jeff. Yep. Unfortunately, they hardly ever listen to the fans. No doubt about it. All right. Looks like we've reached the end of this one. Joe Sample, what's up, my friend? So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Oh, here we go. Got a few more here. I don't even think 900 horsepower is needed, but we could try at least 750. I think that's what Denny Hamlin was hinting at least 750. Allmendinger, Smothers, Allmendinger, another top 10 dark horse playoff contender for sure. What happened to Blaney? Blaney was just on a different pit strategy, and so he came in, and that's why he finished where he finished. But he still had a pretty good run. He was the top Ford on the day as well. And Delmar Kaufman with the checker flag. All right, that's going to do it for real this time. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Hope you have a good rest of your weekend and a good Monday.